relax, join the chat, and have some fun. Mr. Postile knows how to have fun. Oh yeah, we will begin shortly.
Hey, we must be live. My phone just went off.
That's my little AI generated startup thing. 18 seconds. I got to give a disclaimer. I did not create that. AI did.
Did a good job though.
There you go. It worked.
She sounded pretty.
It didn't know how to pronounce Poe. I think Mike's down at the bottom. Isn't he there, Bart, now? There he is.
He is.
Mike, my man.
Hey.
Mike is back.
Yes.
You got back so quick, Mike. I didn't get time to make some kind of joke about Ed being you instead. Mike's in his best digital victory Halloween costume for Halloween, and it looks great.
Resemblance is striking, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. But yeah, so how you doing, Ed? Since we mentioned, we should probably say hey to you.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Fantastic.
Salty
Hey.
If you're not
Hey,
sure
Salty
who
Army.
it is, he's been on the show quite a few times. Got his own channel, and if you look in the link in the description of this video, link to his channel's there. That's all I'll say. Good channel.
We brought him back because of our ratings dip. So
I'm not going to help. Just so you know, this is not the way.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah. Mike said he's getting tired of being the only one on the show with good content, so we had to get.
That's a point well taken. Point well taken. I just want to explain that.
T-Dog.
Go ahead, Poe. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying hi to T-Dog. That's all.
Yeah. No,
I was just going to explain real quick. I was just going to explain real quick to those that are watching why I'm laying here like I am. Because, in a long story, my leg is injured and I'm in bed with a heat pad on it. And don't worry, I'm going to be fine. So that's it.
Oh, that is Greg. I thought that was an older Ron Jeremy there laying in his bed. Closer.
That's yeah. Greg's a trooper though. He's not feeling well, but he's here. So we've both been there. It's tough.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah. So, Mike, you got your boy all set up? He's having his big evening tonight.
Yeah, I just dropped him off to go play some putt golf, so he's excited.
See, I only partly read. I said I think he took his boy bowling or something. Close. Involved
putt bowling.
Yeah. T-Dog says, "Get better, Greg. Get better."
Appreciate it, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. So Mike's had enough now. He's like, "You can lose bowling with putt. I'm out."
And now he's taking him for ice cream. He'll be right back.
Oh, right.
You chased him off. I hope you're happy.
Right. Don't even talk about ice cream. Poe was posting pictures. What was that? Salted caramel pretzel.
Oh,
Sundae
yeah, chocolate pretzel.
Ooh.
Yeah, wanted to go and visit my daughter. My daughter got a new apartment this year, so we went up there Wednesday. And, of course, the first stop before her apartment was the ice cream place. We all knew where that was, so we told her, meet us there. Why use Google or anything to find her apartment? We know where the ice cream place is. So
Exactly.
Right. Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. He sends a picture of it, and I'm like, I don't want to go to an ice cream place, but there's not one within 2 hours of my house. So.
I think we only have a Baskin Robbins here.
I got a question for Bart. What is within 2 hours of your house?
What's within 2 hours of my house? Not much.
Not much.
Yeah. A bunch of bushes and some dirt. and mountains.
You could change that though. You should have Kelly build a lemonade ice cream stand out by the road near your house and
Right.
advertise.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
at least 2 cars a day drive down that street.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the main street out here, I think there's about a dozen houses that have people living in them. But some of those go the back way to town because it's, we're our spot is in the middle almost of five miles of dirt road with a paved road on either side. So people that live closer to the back end, they'll just go to that paved road. But there's about a dozen houses back here that have people, and then there's probably another half a dozen to 10 properties that people will use like for a campground, privately owned. They'll just come out a couple times a year, stay for a week or so, and but don't actually live out here. Because they come out here and they're like, "There's nothing here," and they leave again.
That's probably the best place to have a camp then, would be where you don't have to worry about going out to mow the grass, right?
Right.
My father-in-law had a camp for years, miles from here. And a lot of times he got so tied up with work, when he finally got up to his camp, all he did was mow all day and then go back home and get ready for work the next day.
Yeah. But rumor has it, this whole area out here, several thousand acres, used to be kind of not like grassland you're going to find in Kansas or something like that, but it was fairly grassy out here. But then they started letting people free range their cattle and horses out here. And, in the desert, that's one thing. If you lose a patch of grass, it just doesn't come back. It's not like, you live places where it rains a little more often. You can tear a big chunk of your yard out, grass will fill it back in. Out here, if it's gone, it's gone. And so it's just dirt, bushes, and cactus. That's about all that's out here. But, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Looks like Cannabis Kid here and Brooklyn Menace.
Cannabis.
Yeah, Brooklyn's here.
Cannabis in Brooklyn.
Menace is here. Good to see you. Yeah. Lemonade stand. Nice. My next door neighbor lady in Phoenix, she got a golf cart so she could sell snow cones. And she'd go park right outside the elementary school. So
I knew a guy that used to do that with candy, just a plain van. He didn't sell it though. I don't even think there was really candy there.
there is an ice cream place in town. Roots and Scoops. I've never been there. Yeah, I need something. Anyway, so what do we?
Actually, before we jump off subject, what's your go-to? That salted caramel pretzel sounds really good. I'm a butter pecan guy myself. What about you guys?
For ice cream, Shelby bought a gallon the other day, kind of to see what it was. She got a gallon of ice cream that's in the freezer that's root beer float, and that is really good. You can say you don't even have to buy the root beer. The ice cream tastes like root beer float.
Wow.
And I'm kind of digging that because, yeah, before that I was kind of a Rocky Road, stuff like that. But what about you, Mike? What's your ice cream go-to?
Well, I typically like world-class chocolate, but I did try something from, was it Dairy Queen? It was the Peach Cobbler Blizzard.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that one. And typically I don't order like fruit ice cream, but I do like the Peach Cobbler. That was pretty good. For something different.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, I do got to say, if I go to like a Dairy Queen, I'll get that, what is it? The peanut butter parfait, but I put caramel in instead of the hot fudge.
Yeah.
Or the chocolate. I have it made with caramel. That's how I do it if I'm going to an ice cream joint. What about you, Greg?
If I go to the ice cream, I'm in agreement with Mike about the chocolate. What did you say you call that, Mike?
World-class chocolate?
Yeah, world-class chocolate. Or anything that I just love chocolates. Now, there was a chocolate, when you talk about one with fruit in it, Cheryl, this Byers ice cream that had chocolate and cherry in it.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Really chocolate cherry.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's
But
pretty
right
good
now, my favorite go-to though is, of course, I'm having trouble getting out of the house. It's terrible just to ride in the car, but we've been going up to Wendy's, is not too far from us, and that $1 Frosty, pretty good little treat on a hot day. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to not stop at Wendy's when you drive by and you know they got them dollar Frosties going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
It's
Yeah.
hard to screw up a Frosty.
You know, Ed, you brought up the the butter pecan, right? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Now, I used for a while there. I was getting into simple cookie recipes, and I found out this recipe where you take a box of cake mix.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay, a box of cake mix.
Cake mix.
Stick and a half of butter and 1 egg. And then you mix all that together. You can put in any kind of chocolate chips or whatever. So I tried a butter pecan cake mix and I put butterscotch chips in it. Those were phenomenal cookies.
Wow.
They came out just unbelievable. And then I took some to work, and one of the girls at work, she said, "That is the best cookie I ever ate." Until the next week when I used a triple fudge cake and put the Annie's mint chips in it. And she goes,
Yeah.
"Okay, those other cookies were really good, but these are the best cookies ever." And I'm like,
Wow.
That butter pecan cake, yeah, stick and a half of butter and 1 egg, and you make cookies out of it, and it's brilliant.
Bake them at
And,
350 and just keep an eye on them till they look done.
Yeah, just kind of bake them as a generic cookie. And then
All right.
another thing, if you like simple recipes, if you like pumpkin pie and you like muffins, if you take a can of the pumpkin pie mix in a can, just a regular 15-ounce can, and a box of spice cake, and just mix the two together. That's it. And then put it in a muffin pan and cook it with the instructions on the box for the cooking time for cupcakes. And you will get pumpkin muffins that taste like pumpkin pie. And it's not the pumpkin mix. It's just the pumpkin, straight pumpkin, like you would buy, make a pumpkin pie and then you put your own spices in it and use a spice stick. Just the two ingredients. You pour the boxes. Unbelievable. And they come out moist and really good. See, this is the baking section of our gaming show.
I was going to say, we jumped off track here, and I apologize, but I want to comment real quick. We had a little plastic tub of like little cinnamon roll pieces from Costco or Target or whatever, and they were really good, but there was no frosting or anything at all. It was just the thing. So they're a little dry, right? But I happened to be going to the grocery store, and I picked up a can of cream cheese frosting, and I just started eating them with, slathering some of that on there. And it was some of the best stuff in the world. And just on a whim, I had a old piece of shoe leather and I put the frosting on that and it was still great. So as long as you have cream cheese frosting, you're good to go.
Yeah. I used to joke around. I worked at that grocery store in Arkansas and I would have little old ladies that would come in and ask me for baking recipes. They're like, "You got anything new for me?" I'm like, "Try this." But
I gotta mention something about the pumpkin. I'll change the subject, but stay on subject. Ed is an owner of Chihuahuas. I know Bart's had some Chihuahuas. I know Mike's got a cat. I know Poe. We all got dogs. I got Betty there, the Chihuahua. We feed her pumpkin puree, and I read up on it. It's actually good for their digestive system and stuff. And of course, any excess is too much. But boy, you open a can of pumpkin out like that puree that you make a pie with, put some down there with her, and oh my God, she just loves that stuff.
I have heard that.
yeah,
Pumpkin
That's
and pineapple. Pumpkin and pineapple. That's the two things I never thought I would have seen and save it. Good for 'em.
right. Nice. So, do we want to talk? What do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about the tournament from last week?
Yeah.
Well, I just remembered so I wouldn't have dead time to pull up my picture of this week's pinball tournament, which was FX3, Indiana Jones. 3 people participated. Bart had the lead.
Why Greg wants to bring this up?
Well, sure, but Bart had the lead for a long time, and oh my goodness, I'll tell you what, I played and played and played and played. I finally got the lead with 189 million. Bart's got 182 million, and I'll tell you what, I didn't have him beat until the bonuses at the end, because I said, I didn't get him, and then when the score finally flashed up, I said, "Oh my God, I did!" So it was me, then Bart, and then Pixelatorium got a measly 172 million. That's actually a dang good. So
That is a good game. That's a great game.
that's the results on that, and I won't try to give anything away, but we're doing something a little different this week. Mike's going to explain that later. So,
Hold on. Before we move too far, Kelly is pointing out, we started it talking about that salted caramel thing that Poe ate. The one you ate that day. But what is your favorite? We never got back to that.
I never get a chance to get a favorite because every time my wife sees one of the local places is having something special, like we're going. I blame her all the time. But that one that I had last Sunday, wow, I stopped at 2 ice cream places last week. It's getting bad. But last Sunday they did their once a year pumpkin where they actually get the real pumpkins and they make a pumpkin parfait. And it has the caramel in it and the graham cracker crushed up in it. And so we look forward to that one every year.
Nice.
That sounds
I'm
nice.
going to be a Karen, too. I'm going to be a Karen for just a minute. I've heard 2 of you call it caramel. Is it caramel or caramel?
Caramel. 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 Camel.
I go for the fewest syllables as possible. Caramel.
I'm with you. It's always been caramel to me.
Caramel tub.
Yeah. I can't think if there's ever been enough time when I used caramel. That's always
Is
been
it
caramel.
sherbet or sorbet?
It's
Sherbet.
put that in someone else's bowl. That's what it is.
Herbert.
No. So that's just pretty good, actually. Okay, so back to the pinball tournament. So we had a pinball tournament last week, and we also had an arcade tournament that Poe picked, right? That was what did we play? That
Alien versus Predator.
Alien versus Predator. That's right.
Yeah, it sucked.
Well, some of us sucked at it. There's that. And some people were phenomenal at it. Compared to my score, I thought I played pretty good, and then all of a sudden, Derek and T-Dog started throwing down freaking scores. Like, I didn't know there was a competition to see how many scores they could double or triple. But yeah, so
That was another case where I kept looking at my score. I'd looked at the scoreboard before I started playing. I started this kind of late, and I said, "Holy cow! I think I've got him. I think, oh no, I don't."
yeah.
My actual first game, my practice game, I didn't count it because I didn't have it, recorded. I actually did better than I did at that top score that I ended up getting in my video. I should have counted that score. Well, even if I counted it, I think I still would have been just under Jaden's score there anyway, so it would have been in the same spot.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm understanding. This is Alien versus Predator, the side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Not like the Atari.
Nope. The Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the arcade side story. Yeah. And it's fun. It was though. But yeah. So Poe, did you want to go over the scores or you want me to do it? Is it hard for you to see them?
Yeah, it's until I finally get my laptop out here in another 10 years. It might be.
Yeah. Okay, I'll run through them. T-Dog got the big 730. And not only did T-Dog spank us, but he was like, watch this, guys. I will get an even number. 730,000 even.
It's impressive.
Derek got the big 714,201, which
So
I
that's
think Poe
why-
pointed out in the chat that if it ends in a 1, that's a sure sign that it was the Game Genie, right?
Right.
So Mike thought he had a great score going at 389, which it is compared to the rest of us, just not the top two. And then Mike's boy Jaden with a great game, 351.7. Poe had the 317, I had 286, and Greg had 245. So, yeah, that was a fun time. That was a good game.
Yeah.
Good job, T-Dog. Congrats.
Nice.
T-Dog says, thank you. Mary
Yeah,
Jane's Medicated chocolate peanut butter is his favorite ice cream. Who would have thought Cannabis Kid would say Mary Jane's Medicated would be his favorite? Yeah, breaking
As he
news.
should be.
Yeah. All right. So good.
Have you ever finished that game? I mean, I have, but not because I'm particularly skilled at it. Just throwing quarters in over and over again.
Right.
Just
I did.
virtual
I beat it. I beat it.
I dig it. I love the ending.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I never actually. I think this. I think when I first downloaded it for the arcade, I played it a couple times, just making sure it works and stuff. I think this is the first time I ever actually tried to play the game and see. And of course, we do it 1 quarter challenge, so you go to your dead and it's done. And Kelly actually said, she goes, "Man, this would be really fun 2-player." And I'm like, "Well, let's go." And she's like, "Sometime, not necessarily right this second, but no." So I'll probably try to get Kelly out here and play it, see if we can't go all the way through it.
I want to play it again. I never beat that.
Real quick, if you want to talk games, 3 seconds left. Cincinnati 25, Kansas City 23. How many seconds left? They took it away, but Butker's about to go for a 35 or 40-yard field goal, which is a chip shot for him. This 3 seconds left. They're down by 2.
There we go.
So I'm going to know here as soon as they get done lining up. He's lining up. This kid, highest paid kicker in the NFL. Don't miss it now.
Wow.
I think he made it. My wife's TV's ahead of mine, and I hear her screaming downstairs. Right through the freaking middle. Right down the middle.
Nice. Nice.
Okay. I'm done. I'm happy now.
Right? I thought you were going to be all excited because Caitlin Clark got 35 points today. All-time rookie leading scorer. Now she set the rookie record today for she owns points scored, 3-pointers made, and assists for rookies all time.
Wow.
And with 1 game to go. Yeah.
Here's a sports trivia question for you. The Chiefs just won the game. Where's the first place CBS's camera went to when they won the game?
Probably has nothing to do with sports and has more to do with music.
Right. It went straight.
They showed Taylor Swift at the game.
It went to Taylor Swift's box in the not her Chipotle.
What's that?
Hold on.
Hey, whoa.
Went to Taylor Swift's box seat in the stadium. She's got her.
Oh,
Jeez.
I thought they were really digging for ratings. Sounds like they talked to Old Poe to find out how to raise ratings. Show box. That'll get them.
I'll tell you what a close game, and Burrows versus. But enough about football. Burrows versus the big thing. There she is again. She's happy. She's jumping up and down.
Yeah. Okay, so that was our big tournaments, and we did talk some pinball in there. So let's work in Ed because he's patiently waiting. Ed, you had some big pinball news.
Yeah.
There's been some stuff that's happened with
It's not
pinball.
like breaking news or anything like that, but I knew there's some certain pinball details that are cool on the Legends 4K from At Games. Shameless plug. I just recently did a video about the new Universal pack that came out with E.T., Back to the Future, and another table that I can't think of right this second.
Wow, neither can I, Ed. So you are okay. E.T.
It's Jaws.
Jaws.
Sorry.
Wow,
Popped in
I
my
would
head there.
not remember Jaws of all 3.
And I know it's my favorite. But the unique thing about it is this is the first pack from Zen Studios in cooperation with At Games that includes the fix for the lag that they had. Now, for those not familiar, At Games came out with their Legends 4K, and they cemented the deal with Zen Studios to bring over a bunch of pinball effects tables, which was just great news for At Games because the Gottlieb games that it comes with, they're okay, So having that Zen Studios license was a huge win for them, huge get. But when the first one got released, the Addams Family custom Addams Family pinball table with the whole topper and everything, it played like crap because there's flipper lag. When you push the button, it's like 18 seconds later that the flipper goes.
Oh my God.
Not really that long, but it was bad. It was noticeable. And if you watched my video with the Attack from Mars Legends 4K that I got, that also had lag. And it's not unplayable, but it certainly affects it. And I think everybody would score better if there was no lag, and certainly everyone would prefer if there was no lag. And I think that was a big fail on their part. Okay, at games, to secure that huge license and then all of a sudden have the game show up and they have really bad flipper lag was a bad thing. So At Games acknowledged the problem that they were having and said, "Oh, we're going to work on it. We're going to fix it." And even I didn't believe that was really going to happen. But sure as shit, they fixed it. And they haven't fixed all of them yet because it's a staggered approach. It's literally something they have to go in and reprogram for each table. So the first one they did was the Addams Family. That was the first table they released. That's the first one that they fixed. And from every indication is it's much, much, much better. There is still technically lag, but it's so minor, I don't think it's a big deal at all. And sorry, I don't know if you heard the dog there. But so this Jaws pack that came out, or the Universal Studios pack, is the first pack that came out with the fix already implemented. So that's why, to me, it's news. And can confirm it's great. The lag is all but imperceptible to me, which if you know me, I always say I'm notoriously ambivalent. And if I can play it, it's not a big deal. But it's much, much better. Wagner's Tech Talk, I don't know if you're familiar with Wagner's website or not. He does deep technical dives on a lot of things. Great YouTube channel. Recommend it. He provided a detailed spreadsheet of every Zen Studios table for the At Games pinball table with detailed timing of every one of them's flipper lag, to the millisecond. And he did this exhaustive study, 30 different tests of each flipper on each table. It's crazy. And they all average about 1.25 milliseconds per table, which was unacceptable. Like I said, it was noticeable and it affected play, and it really wasn't acceptable. The new fix knocks it down to about 0.85 milliseconds. And, milliseconds, who knows? All I know is when you play it, I don't notice it at all. I just play it and it's much, much improved. So I think that's really exciting news for people that have the Legends 4K and were disappointed that Zen tables didn't really work that good, or B, people interested in getting it but were holding off because of that flipper lag. The rest of the tables, by the way, they fixed Addams Family. Like I said, the rest of the tables are on a scheduled release in the next month or two on a weekly basis. So if you're interested in the 4K, you should be good to go as far as the flipper lag thing.
Nice. Yeah. And like Ed said, he didn't want to give himself too much of a plug, so I will. Watch his video on that 4K, the Universal pack. It's a great video. I did watch it, Ed. I didn't leave a comment. Sorry. It was one of those, I'm watching it, and I'm like, a lot of times I watch YouTube on the TV, which I can't leave a comment, and then I have to get my phone out and pull it up and leave a comment. And I had watched one of Poe's videos, and I'm like, fuck him, I'm not commenting. So I was kind of in that mode still. No, something came up while I was watching that, and I never pulled it up on my phone until you just started talking about it. I'm like, crap, I never left a comment. Because, I usually am at least to say, hey, good job, buddy. But it's a great video, as all of Ed's are. If you're not familiar with Ed's channel, Digital Victory, go check it out. Like Greg said, the link is in the description.
Appreciate that.
Very, very informative, and we're all jealous of him, and we think he's a jerk because he has a 4K and we don't. But other than that, he's a nice guy.
Well, I want to say something real quick. Ed also mentioned Wagner's Tech Talk, and I'll tell you what, I've been watching him for years, or as long as he's been around, because I'll tell you what, you want to know a guy that I like him because he can. Some people get on and they got a lot of, and Ed doesn't do this either. Ed's channel is good because they don't do a lot of big intros and a lot of, hyping themselves up before they get down and tell you the nitty gritty of what's going on. And Wagner's Tech Talk helped me out a lot with Raspberry Pis. Originally, he did a lot with programming of Raspberry Pis, how to set them up, and he was the easiest one to follow because he didn't talk over your head and he took his time. So he is a great channel, and he does a lot now for @Games. And I think he's a definite plus for their product. So, yeah, be sure to check him out too.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He is a good guy. Yeah, but that was pretty good though. And I'm with you, Ed, with that Universal Pack. I like the Jaws table a lot. And for me, it's Jaws, Back to the Future, E.T. As far as enjoyment of playing it, but boy, it's hard, especially now that they came out with that Princess Bride that has the actual voice clips from the movie, and then you play Back to the Future, and it is so obvious.
Oh, Jaws is even worse, bro.
Yeah.
Jaws is even worse. And I said that during
Jaws
my video. I
is bad,
said, you know, it's not all perfect. One of the main cons I have on these are the voice acting, and they have the guy that's supposed to sound like Quint. And he repeats some of the lines from the movie, and he says other things, and he just doesn't sound like him. And no offense to the guy that did it, but it's just bad, and it takes it you out of it just a little. The mechanics of the Jaws table are really cool, but you have to learn it and start some of the modes and get into the modes, because otherwise you play it and it's like, this table sucks. This is, I'm hitting it, I'm hearing these dumb voices, and this isn't very fun. But once you start getting into the modes and doing some of the things, and you see the cool mechanics and special effects that it adds, which is one of the great things about the Zen tables to me. Jaws is great. You have the night modes and the tables rocking back and forth, and the shark, and that's really cool. But you have to get pretty good at it to see most of it, and I'm yet to see the really good stuff, but I'll get there.
Right. And you know what else is cool with that Jaws table? Well, the whole Universal Pack, but the Jaws table especially is if you have a Quest headset, you can play it on there. And when you lose the ball, a shark comes up out of the water next to the table. It's pretty cool.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah, but yeah, and I'm with you on that. For the longest time when I was playing it, I'm just having fun playing. Keep the ball alive. Hear the sound clips, wish it was better voice acting, but it's cool to hear some of the lines and but then when you learn the modes and you figure out, there's like two different angles. There's the sharks modes, and there's the people's modes, and it's a very fun table. But like most of them, you can have fun playing, but once you learn the rules, it changes the game, which is another reason you should watch Ed's channel, Digital Victory, because he does so many great videos teaching you the rules and what you want to shoot for. And sometimes he'll even put out a video for one that we're having a contest for right after the contest is over, so he can still beat me. But no, it's a great way to learn.
Bart. One time I did that.
It's a great way to learn.
With Zen tables in particular, again, this is for the audience that may not be familiar with them, the pinball effect stuff, is they have graphical animations that are added to the tables, and it's not just looking like regular pinball. It's almost a hybrid between a pinball machine and a video game, and you have really cool things that happen, but it doesn't happen unless you achieve certain milestones in the game. So it's like a whole different like I said, kind of a hybrid between video games and pinball. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Hey, Derek's got a question there for you, Ed. If you get an Addams Family 4K table in a few months, will it be updated without it'll be pre-updated if you were to get?
That's a great question. I would say yes. I don't speak for them, but absolutely, because mine literally had an update before I could play it in order to see that improvement. So yes, I would venture to guess yes.
I would be shocked if they aren't pre-doing the update from this point on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's Arcade, who's all about claw machines and the pipes. Oh, that's cool. He does a channel about claw machines, and they made a game. That's cool.
Awesome.
And
yep, T-Dog, exactly. That's exactly why. And for whatever reason, they decided to pay the extra cash and get the real voices for Princess Bride, which is awesome. Again, though, Princess Bride sucked when I first played it. I was like, dude, this is what's going on here? This is boring.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, I get up and they're doing a sword fight. And I'm like, ooh, this is cool.
Yeah.
So it really encourages you to learn what you're supposed to do and get some of those modes initiated. Very cool.
Right. And T-Dog, this isn't only a Zen thing either. This happens with real pinball machines too. They have made pinball tables that were for big IPs and stuff like that, and the actors may not give the rights to have their likeness on there. So you'll be like, that doesn't even look like Mel Gibson. I'm just picking a random name, a Lethal Weapon table, and you'll look at it and say, that doesn't even look like Mel Gibson's. Like, yeah, because if they made it look like him, they'd have to pay him.
Yeah.
I don't know the Lethal Weapon. It just was the first movie that popped in my head for whatever reason. But yeah, so it is a thing with real pinball, as well as it's not only a Zen problem. It's licensing, and there are some tables that they just never see the light because they can't get. I think that was a thing with Friday the 13th for a long time, and it still might be. There are different people that have the rights to the movies, than have the rights to Jason Voorhees, than people that have the rights to the image of the hockey mask and all that, and they can't get the three to agree to get an officially licensed Friday the 13th pinball table. And I don't know if that's ever been resolved, because how that happens, I don't know. But three different companies are part owner of Friday.
That's what killed the Friday the 13th game. It was out for all the systems a few years back. Yeah. The guys that made that game, the developers said they probably could keep going with it, but since there were other conflicts and court cases going on, they're just like, we're done. You know, they were supposed to have all these different maps added to it and all kind of stuff, and then at one point they said we're done making new content, and then I think it was just this past January they shut down all the servers for it. So,
wow.
Yeah. It's crazy how
you're talking about one interview. I forget where it was at, but it was on TV. Harrison Ford was being interviewed, and they started asking about his likeness. You know, lunchboxes. Xbox. I was just messing around with it earlier today while I was doing nothing but sitting. And there's an Indiana Jones table, and then Cheryl said, or Indiana Jones game. She says, I just can't believe how much that looks like Harrison Ford. But in this conversation this reporter was having with him, they said, how much do you get off your likeness? You know, just kind of, you could tell it bothered him. He was asked, and he just looked at him. He says, more than you'd ever know. Wow. And I'm not going to answer. Just off his likeness, he's bringing in a fortune. So that backs up what you guys are talking about. Make a fortune.
Well, that's interesting, and that's one of the benefits of the VPX tables over all the others, because we're playing these tables that we download off websites that people make, and they have these full video pup packs that play while you're playing pinball on the back glass. You got movie scenes, you got the actual real voices of the actors. The recent Jaws table from VPX, in no relation to the Zen table at all, but I downloaded that and played that recently. And that's got full clips and music from the actual movie. How they get away with that, I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
My favorite pup pack is Baywatch. My favorite pup pack is they're running in slow motion.
Well, I would guess, Ed, the reason probably they get away with it is because they're not charging. I think if someone started charging for those VPX tables, suddenly every studio and they would be coming after them. And so probably for now, they're just like, all right, we know you're there. Don't push it.
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
I think you're right.
That would be my guess. Because usually if there's money to be made, people come out of the woodwork. If you don't believe that, just try to put out any video with any game that has anything Star Wars related and have more than 1.8 seconds of music in it from any of the Star Wars themes. You will have. I think I'm not even done uploading the video yet, and I get a copyright notice for a Star Wars video. It's like I'm recording the video of Star Wars pinball, and I'm like, get a phone call. Hey, you're gonna have to pay us. If you... But
one of my recent videos had and I think it was Star Wars actually, and I muted it out, and on the video it just says music or generic music added to avoid copyright. I just had a little disclaimer right on the screen for that reason. So yeah, we all deal with that.
I think, Ed, and maybe you know, isn't there one? Didn't someone put out a pup pack for one of the Elvira tables? Did you see that?
Ooh,
I have one.
Don't know.
One that I don't know is a pup pack, but I have one where when certain things are happening, she'll say like, somebody asks her, "How?" I've never had any complaints.
Yeah.
Right. I thought I saw someone made a mod that had a pup pack involved with Elvira, but I don't know. And of course, if you search on the sites, you can find the nudie patches where all of her drawings are topless. But
Sure.
Those are out there. But I thought I saw it because I had to reinstall everything on my machine, so I had to go back and get tables that basically the hard drive that I had all of my stuff on failed.
Ooh.
And at the same time, it was when I got a new computer, so I just started from scratch. So now I'm having to download the tables again. And I thought I saw someone made a pup pack. It's not official, and there's not like a place, on the back glass, because I think they just kind of put a chunk on the back glass, like where the video would play, but it's covering part of the normal back glass or something. And I don't even remember which of the Elvira tables it was for. But
Usually if I want the adult-oriented stuff, I don't bother with the website. I just contact Post Style. He's right there.
Right. Yeah, he has all that stuff. He has all that stuff. But yeah.
I was just thinking, Greg looks like he's ready for some Netflix and chill over there.
Yeah.
I thought I just Googled.
Nudie patch. Wait a second. Yeah.
Like you were having a pot pie? I guess pot pie and chill is good too. I never tried a pot pie in bed. I might have to do that.
Chaos made it. Nice Halloween. Nice Halloween little icon there. That's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, the jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Here it is on VPX VP Universe. It says Elvira Dual Pup Pack. Then there's a whole lot. It's another one of those places that writes a whole bunch of stuff that I don't care about. Just get to the point and tell me what I'm looking for. But anyway, yes, there is an Elvira Pup Pack out according to VP Universe.
All right.
All right. Well, since we're talking pinball and we're already 42 minutes into this, Mike, you got something for us pinball related, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I got Star Trek, the Stern pinball. So I played it last week, and I got the video. So if you guys want to watch it, it's going to be a kind of a short documentary, and also my playthrough. So the score that's posted towards the end will be the start, and I also put the rules and stuff so everybody knows what's going on with that tournament. So you got the video? Yeah, we can play the video now if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I might fall asleep. Just wake me up when it's over.
Stern's 2013 Star Trek Pinball Table, a game that captivated pinball enthusiasts and Star Trek fans alike, including myself. I remember seeing this in my local arcade in the mall. Yes, my mall still has an arcade. I remember dropping my 3/4 and being fully surprised with the callouts from the crew and the villains. The table layout with the USS Vengeance, which reminded me of the UFO from Attack from Mars table, and the gorgeous artwork from the look of the whole table. The Pro table is sweet, but I definitely love the look of the Premium Edition. This had become my favorite table with Elvira's Haunted House. Designed by the legendary Steve Ritchie, this table brings the excitement of the Star Trek universe to life with stunning visuals and engaging gameplay. The Star Trek pinball table was developed by Stern Pinball, one of the leading manufacturers of pinball machines. Released in 2013, it was the 4th licensed Star Trek pinball machine. The design team includes Steve Ritchie, known for his innovative and fast-paced pinball designs, and illustrators Greg Ferris, Kevin O'Connor, and John Yusi. The programming team featured Lonnie Ropp, Tanyo Kleiss, and Wei-Sin Cheng. Some of my favorite Steve Ritchie tables include Star Trek The Next Generation, Elvira and the Party Monsters, and Elton John from Jersey Jack Pinball. The table is renowned for its immersive features, including custom speech by actors from the Star Trek movies, LED lighting, and a dynamic playfield that replicates iconic scenes from the franchise. Players can engage in missions inspired by the Star Trek universe, battling against the USS Vengeance and other adversaries. Since its release, the Star Trek Pinball Table has been celebrated for its high-quality design and gameplay. It remains a favorite among pinball collectors and players, often featured in tournaments and pinball leagues. The table's enduring popularity is a testament to its well-crafted design and the timeless appeal of the Star Trek franchise. If I could only have one table, this would definitely be it. Okay, before we do our final thoughts, let's play one game for coin-ops and consoles for this week's Pinball Challenge. If you want to play, please visit our Discord and you can post your score on the Pinball Chat section. Take a photo of your score and send it to that section. You can purchase the game on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. Steam has Stern Star Trek for $4.99 right now. Remember, this is for fun and keep it civil in the Discord. Tournament ends Thursday, midnight at Pacific Standard Time.
USS Enterprise, Captain James T. Kirk.
Ball 1 locked.
Locks are lit.
Warp Q. Ball 2 locked. Replay. Save the Enterprise, Nero.
Powering up your weapons.
Captain, we're being hailed.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
Galactic Awakening sequence.
Direct hit.
Torpedo locked on to 320 degrees. Mark 2. Nice maneuvers.
Foolish human. Jackpot! Limon jackpot!
Super jackpot.
got you for your insolence.
Direct hit to target.
Enter your initials. Hot shot.
Turn around.
Stern's 2013 Star Trek pinball table is more than just a game. It's a tribute to the beloved Star Trek series and a masterpiece of pinball engineering. Whether you're a seasoned player or a Star Trek fan, this table offers an unforgettable experience that continues to thrill and entertain. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, gaming is your road to adventure. Take care, everyone.
Nice.
Love it.
I just want to point out real quick, Mike will do an 8-minute short video for a segment of our show, and it's better than anything I've ever put together for my channel.
That's fantastic.
That was an excellent video, and great game. I will also admit, when you got to the multi-ball, I was so tempted to unmute your mic, Ed, so you could say, "Let's go."
I almost did it myself. Yes, right on.
It seemed fitting, but yeah, that's an excellent job with that video, though.
Yeah.
You're still good at that, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I stayed up like working on it till 2 in the morning. So I know when Greg messaged me, it's like, oh shoot, I'm still not done because I gotta still edit the video. I mean, if it would have just been a simple gameplay, then it would have been easy for me to just upload the video like, oh, here's my high score, done. But yeah, I figured why not do a short documentary on it since it is my favorite table. Yeah.
Do you write a script or do you kind of just go off the cuff?
I do write a script, and then it's usually a draft. Then after that, I kind of like, this sounds dumb. I'll kind of revise it and stuff. So yeah, the pinball was mine. I wrote that. Yep.
Nice. That was great.
Well done.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and I remember Mike sent me a thing because Greg was going to be busy. Usually he'll upload it to here, and he said he had a busy weekend and he wasn't feeling well. So Mike sent it to me too, and he said, "By the way, I just woke up, and it was yesterday, Saturday, and so I was working. I was like, you just got up? I've been up for 9 hours already." He was up till 2 o'clock in the morning or later working on his video, and I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Which is the same time because he's 2 hours. He's in the Pacific. I'm in Central, so I was waking up when he was finishing working on the video. So yeah, not surprising that he was just getting up, and I'd been up for 9 hours already. But
yeah, I usually sit here till 2 a.m. without even making the video. I'm thinking about making the video, and then finally, I'm just like, I'm just going to go to bed. I'll make it another day.
Well, that's when you're doing that's when you're making your OnlyFans content, right?
Right.
And why are you raising the prices, by the way? Because I'm already spending. We'll talk later.
So that's going to be a pinball. That's going to be a pinball tournament for this week, right, Mike? That'll take care of pinball.
Yes, until Thursday. Midnight Pacific Standard Time. So,
yeah, and that's not a bad price if you don't already own it. Like you said, it's available on all the systems. It's a great price. That's a good little package. They got a lot of good tables on that little pack of Stern tables. Other than the AC/DC table, you can't get that one, but you can get all those other tables. Yeah, highly recommended. I'll be playing that one and making a video for it this week.
Is that a Pinball Effects table, or is that a standalone thing on Steam?
Oh, that was on the Stern. So if you download that from them, and then you can buy their tables or the packs.
Huh.
Yeah, it's the Stern. It's a Stern pinball, and it comes with Frankenstein, right? Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It's kind of the same deal as in. You get one table for free, and then you can buy the individual tables. And I think they have a pack. They used to have a pack where you could just buy them all, which is, I'm like, I knew I would eventually buy it anyway, so I'm just like, just stop kidding yourself and buy them all instead of buying them individually. But it's well worth it. It's a good pack, and but it's a standalone Stern. They're not quite as flashy as the Zen. They don't have all the extra bells and whistles, but it's a pretty good recreation, and they play well. It's not. I'm not going to sit here and swear up and down by the newer physics and stuff like that, but it plays great. They're fun. The sounds are awesome. It's a good
call out from the actors too, so they're not like other higher seated.
There's two. It's weird though. That Stern pinball pack. It depends on where you look, and we've talked about this before. There's one called Stern Pinball, and there's one called Pinball Arcade. They both have the same logos and everything, but they sell different games. For example, if you look at Pinball Arcade, I couldn't find Star Trek, but I could find it on Stern's Pinball Arcade. They're the same program, and it's funny, some of them, both have the same games. It depends on which one you look at. One of them will be cheaper on the other than on the other. It makes it's kind of screwy, but you can find it for the Switch, find it for the Xbox. Well, Mike said it in the video. Switch, Xbox, PlayStation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's other great games too. Phantom of the Opera and Ghostbusters and Last Action Hero.
Yeah, I have the one that's just Pinball Arcade. That's the one I got on Steam. And one thing, if you have a cabinet, I'm pretty sure the Pinball Arcade ones, you can put it in like a cabinet mode, but there's no back glass. So it's going to be kind of like, it'll put the DMD up on the playfield somewhere. You choose where you want it. So you can't get the back glasses and all that stuff like you can with Zen, but you can put it onto the cabinet. And that's how I play. I play it on my cabinet. But if you're playing, obviously, Xbox, PlayStation, all those things, a Switch, you can play it in the regular widescreen mode and all that stuff.
It was a good-looking table. And Chaos mentioned he just got through watching his favorite Star Trek episode. Lay it on us. Which one was it? Favorite Star Trek episode. And that goes for all of you to, chime in if you got a favorite.
Well, I want to say I just finished watching something that I don't remember if I mentioned it last week or not, but I just watched You Can Call Me Bill. It's a documentary about Shatner. And it has a lot of Star Trek past episode clips in it. Great. I would highly recommend this movie if you're a Star Trek fan or a William Shatner fan, because it is really shows everything from when he started out as an actor working in Westerns clear up to him going up in the Blue Origin space capsule. So it's got a lot of avid horseback. 90-some years old, he was out riding horseback when they interviewed him.
Yeah, I will definitely check that out.
You Can Call Me Bill. That's the name of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see really quick because Derek said something about which DLCs are available on which, and I'm trying to see if I can find the list of DLCs for the one I have. But yeah, and of course, when Shatner went up on that rocket, I got interviewed by 3 different news companies because we were out there to watch it, and
nice.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I can't find the DLC list for it, but anyway, yeah, just look it up on Steam or all those other ones and see if it's on there. I mean, $5 for a table is not bad anyway.
Oh no!
I mean, shoot, you're gonna pay usually around $1 one way or the other if you go to an arcade, 75 cents at the least, and sometimes $2 for one game.
Wow,
so
right.
you play 2 or 3 games and you've bought the thing. So
yeah,
you keep playing enough and you'll make money.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek, that's a good one, Derek. My favorite, by the way, is the Star Trek original series, Balance of Terror, where they first encounter the
against
Romulans.
That one
Yeah,
was a
right
good
on,
one.
Mike. Okay.
Yeah, mine's the Trouble with Tribbles original.
Oh, that's
And you know
mine.
that-
Mine. I love that one. Trouble with Tribbles.
That's my son's favorite
Yeah.
too.
Well, the good part with the Tribbles is then you get a revisit later, right? With when they go back in time with the new crew from the Next Generation, right? And they ended up on the
Deep
with the
Space Nine.
Tribbles. Oh,
Yeah,
it was Deep Space Nine. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Deep Space Nine. They went back into that episode. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah,
Love that.
yeah.
They even
Great
had a
shows.
short. They even had the short on it, Bart, from was it Strange New Worlds? I got to watch
Mm-hmm.
it. It was called The Trouble with forgot what Edward, I think his name was. And he's the one that made the Tribbles breed where they get pregnant when they're born. So it actually explains that and how they ended up in the Klingon homeworld.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty funny. And it's the actress, the captain that plays on it is the one that played on Alita Battle Angel, I think.
Wow.
And she's from Captain Pike's crew, and she gets transferred to a science vessel. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's on the short, and it's free on YouTube. That's where I was like, hey, I never seen that episode. I actually watched it on YouTube because Paramount's
Nice.
giving out stuff for free on YouTube right now. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now I don't know. I'd have to dig through for a favorite TV show episode, but my favorite movie is First Contact.
Oh yes, love that one.
Yep.
That's a great movie. I love that. I'm a big fan for all the time traveling ones too.
Yeah.
The episode 4, Voyage Home, was it right where they go back and get the whales?
Whales.
It had some cheesy lines in it, but that's one of my favorites of the original movies. Of course, Wrath of Khan, but
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
yeah. But
They are not the hell your whales.
right.
I love that episode, or that movie.
Yeah. If nothing else, just for when Spock puts out the punk rock dude on the bus, and he, yeah, but yeah, that's that opening battle with the Borg in First Contact with all the ships and Riker with the Worf. That's a tough little ship. Little. That's right. Yeah. And yeah.
Love that one.
Great. Yeah, great stuff. But anyway, so yeah, that's the big challenge, and everything will be up on the Discord channel. If Derek's on top of things, it'll already be posted over there, but he's probably a slacker. Did we also have a arcade console challenge this week? Are we going with that one you picked earlier, Greg?
Yeah, and I'll try to get a video made on it, depending on how long I can get down to my office and get one. Kind of hard to record stuff, but yeah, Ice Climber. And let me just look up the image I've got up here. Yeah, there's just one version of the game to play. Of course, like we always said, no continues. You know, we're playing it. Just play it till you lose all your lives, and then post your score. And it's a nice thing. It does seem to have a nice screen at the end that you can capture your score after you put your initials in. So, and just put it on the Discord under console. The pinball is going to be under pinball, and the console, we do arcade and console. This is a console one. And Ice Climber, I don't know. It's one of them that is on the Nintendo's championship challenges. They feature on that, and I was playing the challenges the other day, and I said, I wonder if I've got that full game, and I did. Well, Switch has it on their online service. If you're an online member, it's under the NES systems, and I played it for a while today, and it was fun. Good game. So there you go.
Nice. Excellent. So there you go. Ice Climber NES, right?
Yes, sir.
NES, and does it have like an A or B? We're just playing the A game or whatever.
No, that's what I did. Take a picture of the beginning screen, and I don't believe there is a choice between the A and B. And if I'm wrong, it would be the A game. But I don't. I took multiple screenshots of that, on my phone, and I don't see any screenshot that shows a choice to be had.
Okay.
No, you're
I think
right.
it's
Just one or two players I'm looking at right now. Yep.
Nice. Nice. Excellent.
I was going to say something real quick because I don't know if I'm going to last very much longer. I think this leg's going to sleep now. It's a combination of getting up and moving. I've got me one of those old people crutch canes. It's got the little feet on it. I like it though because you can just set it down. And, you know, you go to a public restaurant and you sit down on your cane and it falls down into the anyway. But let me pull this up real quick. I was having trouble with my Xbox. So any of you guys out there that are Xbox users, let me find this. Here it is. I started having trouble with my Wi-Fi, my internet connection, period. Didn't matter whether it was hooked into the Ethernet or if it was on the Wi-Fi. It was only running like 10 megabytes download, 5 megabytes upload. The funny thing is the Nintendo Switch, which is hooked into the same switch, same Ethernet switch, was running at maximum. My phone on the wireless was running just running like, gobs of speed. And I'd turn off the Xbox and reset it, and it would start. The speed would pick up for a while. So I went into Xbox's or Microsoft's page, and I typed in my problem: failing internet speeds on the Xbox. And there's a whole bunch of people talking about the Xbox One. I have the Xbox Series X, which I think is what Mike has.
Yes.
But it said on the Xbox One, it described the same problem. Finally, later on down, those forums that they have through Microsoft, they have questions and answers, which I hate to be the grouchy old man again, but nobody from Microsoft ever even seems to jump in and answer these questions. I don't know why they're there. But finally, one guy just buried way down in there. This guy said it. He said it was with his Xbox One Series X. And here's what he said, and it worked for me. So if you have this problem, it says go into your network settings, go to advanced network settings, go to DNS settings, and DNS is by default is set to automatic. And I may do a video on this just so people have something to refer to, but you change your DNS settings. There's two sets of numbers. The first set of numbers you put in is 8.8.8.8. Very simple. Then want you to give a second row of numbers, and it's 8.8.4.4. Now, I'm no techno guy. I don't know what the hell that means, what a DNS thing is. Mike could probably answer those questions. He's a computer guru. But it fixed the problem. So
there's a simpler way. If you set the Xbox down, buy a PlayStation 5 and set it next to it, then throw that Xbox in the garbage and just play on your PS5. It works fine every time.
Now, Mike, isn't that the 8.8.8.8? Isn't that one of Microsoft's DNS servers?
8.8. I think that's Google.
Is it Google's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the guy did say. I'm sorry, I left that out. He did. Here's what his sentence says. He says, it's Google. He says yes, that your ISP could be having trouble with Microsoft's DNS. That's what the auto is.
So go away from the Microsoft to Google's.
To Google's, correct. Exactly.
Yeah, that's weird, Greg. Mine's like fine. I don't have to. It's set to random when I connect to the Xbox Series X. So, yeah, really weird that you're. Typically, when you have problems like that, either you got to kind of reset the Xbox. Sometimes a restart would help, or usually it's the cable. Sometimes the cable's bad, and you just replace it.
Well, what I did in this case, Mike, is I switched the cable between it and the switch. And the switch was, when I switched, it was doing the same thing. And that is originally what I did. Was every time I had a problem, I had to restart the Xbox, which, okay, it worked the first time, but then the next day it did the same thing, and I thought, well, what do I have to do with this? I think Poe's right. Either shut it off and turn it back on, put these numbers in, buy a PlayStation right on top. But yeah, I did think that it could have been a bad Ethernet cable, but I switched them out. Same
Okay.
problem.
Yeah. Who's your, if you don't mind me asking, who's your internet provider?
Crap.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, mine's the same thing. I have, Comcast, and it's set to auto. So really weird.
Did you do the latest update on yours?
Mine's set to auto update. Yeah.
Okay, because I noticed that I looked to see when it updated last, and mine is set to auto update too. And mine, I noticed a correspondence between the date that it was updated last and when I started noticing this problem. I have a feeling it was something in the last update. That's just, I don't know. Again, I don't know much about these things, but all I know is it works for me. And if it doesn't stop working, I'm still within my 90-day return policy at Sam's Club. I may just go in and tell them to take this back and give me that PlayStation. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Good info.
Yeah.
Hey, Cannabis Kid. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bart.
No, I was just saying, just reiterating, change out the DNS. Were you going to talk about this one here?
Yes, I was. Exactly. I'm not familiar with Pluto TV. Is that a free service?
I thought Pluto was one of those you can get so much stuff free, but they also have a subscription. But what do I know? I also thought the 8.8.8.8 was Microsoft, and here it's Google. So I don't know. But I think it's one of those kind of like Tubi and those where you have so much that's free, and then
okay.
But you can also pay for a subscription service. But
that sounds awesome. What he wrote there. Yeah, I'll be watching that a lot.
All for Star Trek. Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good info.
All right, so we lost Mike.
You may have had to go.
He started messing with his settings and.
Yeah, he changed his DNS and we lost him.
I thought you were going to tell me when you told me how to fix it. You went a completely different direction. I thought you were going to do what I tell people. You know, my such and such phone isn't working. First thing you do is fill the sink full of water. Then you hold it underwater for as long. Let it drip out and see if it works.
Right. Yeah.
Brutal.
That's hilarious.
Or format C on your computer. Just go to a.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. That fixes everything. Yeah. But speaking of fixing stuff, Poe's been a working machine on his iArcade this week. There was a long time where me and Poe we had things going. We were on the same page, and now Poe's iArcade is 17 notches above mine. What all you been doing, Poe?
Well, I put the new BOE monitor in there a week or two ago, and that made a huge difference for me. You know, glancing down, I had bad washout on there. I cried around like a little girl to you guys about it, but you know, the games were still playable. But when I saw they Buy Stuff Arcades had this replacement monitor for it, I just went for it, and it's like night and day. You know, the colors are brilliant, beautiful. We lost Gregory. So I did that one first, but they didn't send me the screws. You have to use the screws included with the monitor. They should have been in the monitor. So I'm doing the video. I'm going to unbox this and everything for the video, tripod setup and the lights and everything. I rip it open, and I'm even showing you guys where it says use only supplied screws. They have them stickers next to each screw hole, and there's no screws in the whole thing. I'm like, no. I'm looking in the box. I'm like, well, there goes that video until they can send me a bag of screws from Canada to here. And that was Labor Day weekend. That was a Saturday evening. So I'm like, okay, we're not getting it Saturday, Sunday. Monday, they're not going to mail it out. And my Viper was coming that Tuesday. So I didn't want to put that Viper in, then have to rip it back out again, unhook everything on it, put the new monitor in, then put the Viper in again. So the Viper was on hold.
What's a Viper?
That is from Thunderstick Studios. It makes it so you can switch from the iArcade software over to like Batacera, but they have the arcade on it. You can put all the different consoles and everything.
Gotcha. Awesome.
You can download and scrape everything through Wi-Fi with it. So whatever game you look up, you hit the button.
The
and
short
download.
answer, not to interrupt you, Poe, but the short answer, it's like a Raspberry Pi. The Viper is a single board computer like the Raspberry Pi, but it has its own architecture and all that stuff. And he designed it directly to work with the iArcade and the software. That's what Poe's talking about. It's kind of a plug and play right into the iArcade with this other kit, which Poe had to install, and he has a great video out on that install and stuff. But anyway, go ahead, Poe. Sorry.
Oh, yes. I did that video then. And I really don't like making how-to videos because I don't have the setup for it or anything, but I got through those. And then I also bought the actual glass, the protective glass. The iArcades all came with stock plexiglass over them. And then later they offered this glass. They called it the premium tempered glass. We found out later it isn't tempered glass, it's plate glass. But you do get a clearer shot of your monitor once you put that thing on. It's really nice too. So that was my latest video. I just got that uploaded right before we started tonight, I think. And that's really fast to do that. Put that glass in there. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Well, you just got to loosen the screws on the deck, right? The control
yeah,
deck.
just
it out a little bit.
pull it out. Yeah,
yeah. I need to do that because I bought my iArcade used, and the only damage that was to it is the plexiglass. The guy had the unit in storage, and it scuffed the plastic plexiglass.
Yeah, you try to wipe it, and even with a nice soft cloth, you end up getting scratches on it. Some people were getting like a fog, from the plexiglass gets on it. So I figured, why not? If I spent the money on that monitor, I might as well put glass over it so that I can actually see a nice difference in it. So it does look really nice. And then I bought the graphics, the original graphics for that Retromania cab, because when we bought Glenn's new control deck, there was no artwork on it. You took out your old control deck that came with the arcade, so you had the plain black deck. And we were looking at, Bart and I were both talking about the decals and stuff that they were making for that at the time. It was a cool idea. We thought about it, but with just the decals, you had to take that deck out and remove every button, the spinners, everything out of that thing to put the artwork on. For this company, he made like a plexiglass with the artwork on it. So all you'll have to do is take off the ball tops and take off the spinners, put this thing right down. So that's going to be my my final mod on it. I'll do that sometime this week.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And
hey,
go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I was right after I finished that last little talk I had, all of a sudden all you guys disappeared on the main screen. And my computer started spinning, little, whatever you call it, buffering. And I said, oh, they all just left me at once. And then I realized that my computer, remember we were talking about com crap? My internet's out at the house now. So the internet just failed, threw me off a StreamYard. So I picked up my phone, and now I'm using the 5G on my phone. I jumped back in, but I guess this is where I say goodnight, folks. I was going to try to stay a little longer, but my phone's sitting at like 12%. I don't think I'll last very long. So.
All right. Well,
I missed when you were laying in the bed. That reminded me. Do you guys remember the Christmas special with the Heat Miser? Year Without a Santa Claus.
Right.
Yeah. And Santa Claus, the scene where he's sick laying in bed, that looked like Greg tonight.
That was great.
Superimpose that.
Right.
Get yourself a nice glass of wine.
Yeah. There you go. Comcrap once again has not failed me. And I'm telling you, it's the worst flipping internet service. Just wish I could get some fiber out here, but that ain't gonna happen.
Starlink.
Get hooked up on HughesNet for a little while, and you'll wish for your phone.
I have the fiber here, but my Wi-Fi doesn't reach the garage, so I use the telephone every week to do this out here. So.
Right.
Guys, have a good one. Good to see you, Ed. Good to see you, Mike, Poe, Bart. We'll catch y'all later. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
All right.
Great.
All right. Yeah. So, Bo and I, we were doing our stuff, and then, boy, they got so many of those things that the games were available with that mystery encoder chip. And originally, when Glenn was talking about this Viper board, he was saying, $40 to $50. But then he ran into some issues, and it ended up being like $130 to get the whole thing.
Right.
And I was thinking, man, I have almost every game I would ever want on the thing already. Do I want to spend another $130? But now, as things are coming out, and they made that arcade back, the front end to it and all that, they made it so easy to download and install games. And Poe was telling me you can play 2-player games online, direct connect. There's no servers. You don't got to worry about servers going down like what happened to us with the original iArcade. We got to play like one time together, and then they pulled their servers. It's a direct connect, and we could play games together. So I'm like, dang, maybe I should have got one when it came out. Now you got to do the pre-order again and hope he brings out
if he brings them out again. There's a lot of people asking for it again, so I think you'll get at least another run. I don't know how many he's willing to do because, I mean, how many iArcade owners are out there, you know?
Right.
But and with that Viper side of it, you can connect controllers to the USB, Bluetooth, whatever, and play the console games with a regular controller, or you can still use the panel, your 8-way, 4-way joysticks and trackball and everything. So, yeah, I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, it's amazing because the arcade, when it first came out and everything was looking on the up and up, and it was a great machine as it was. But since they went bankrupt, the machine has just turned into a whole new critter, and it is so much better than it ever was. You can put all these different games. We got light gun games going on. We got, you know, Poe has, I mean, I do too. We could put the Glenn's Star Wars yoke on there and do driving games and stuff like that. I already have a Star Wars Arcade 1-up, so I probably wouldn't do that, but it's an option. There's so many options now for the iArcade. You can turn it into a premium main machine, basically.
I'll tell you what, though,
all kinds of stuff.
When it came out, that double dragon skin was one of the coolest machines I had ever seen. And I almost bought one just for that.
That is really cool. And the only reason I got the Retromania one was because that was the one they put on sale, which in hindsight, that's the one that was probably filling up the warehouse, and they probably knew they were going under. So it was like, let's get these things out there. So I got it just because I had the Retromania game on the Switch. Yeah, it was an excellent price. And then the MIA board came out just like a month and a half or 2 months after that, and Glenn's control deck. So then we were starting to play twin stick games and trackball games, and spinner games, and I love it. You know.
And anybody that's on the fence with the Glenn's deck, was it worth it to get the deck? Besides the trackball and the spinners, and Bo knows, it's that button. 4-way, 8-way joystick.
Oh, yeah. And I always forget to mention that, but because you do it, it's so easy. So easy.
It is so easy. You get to it, you're playing 8-way games and all that, and you jump on Donkey Kong, and you're like, why can't I get up these freaking ladders? Because you're and you're like, oh, watch this. And you're suddenly in 4-way joystick. Such a huge difference. But I don't recommend playing Robotron in the 4-way. You can't run and shoot so well.
Now that we have the Viper side of it, I can finally download Akari Warriors, Guerrilla War. I have Glenn's Akari Warriors SNK stick for that, so I can plug it right into the USB and use this as my controller then for those games. The joystick rotates, you know, like it's supposed to in the games instead of making a special configuration to use 2 joysticks or something to play the thing. So
nice.
And I'm thinking I'm going to get his yoke eventually because you can use that Star Wars yoke for also racing games. He demonstrated it with Spy Hunter, and I love Spy Hunter, but I love Spy Hunter with a steering wheel, not with a joystick so much. So
right, yeah, and I've seen people play on the modded Star Wars Arcade 1-up, and where they made it to where you can play the racing games and stuff like that on it. And it's like that is pretty cool to be able to use it as the steering.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. But
I did see you pose that question. You were asking if you could just use the Viper and just connect it to be your only. After doing that install, I'm sure somebody could figure that out, but that KVM is so important to that with all the different wires and connections.
Yeah, when I was watching your install video, I'm like, yeah, because for people that don't know, I had asked in the Facebook page if you didn't want to get the whole KVM kit that has the switch ability and the new amplifier for the speakers and all that, could I just use the Viper board and then use the Glenn's deck and the monitor and speakers to run it, and then I wouldn't have access to my original iArcade stuff, but I wouldn't need it if I could just put all the games on the Viper side. But there's a lot to it more than just saying, yeah, you just plug this in here and this in here. So I think
the nice thing is with that is you see all these wires and you're going nuts. And if you print out, like I did, I printed out the instruction manual, the whole thing, because I'm old. I like to be able to actually look at it instead of looking at it on the phone or, you see all these wires, and in the pictures, as in his instruction manual, nothing's connected yet. But when you get the thing, they have everything connected to their side of it already. So all you're doing is connecting the other ends of those to other things. It really goes a lot quicker than you would think. I sat back for a few days and didn't do the install just because I'm like, do I have time to do this right now? We're going to go here or there or do this. And it doesn't take long at all. My videos make it seem like it do because I sit there and I talk about my childhood and bad things. And but yeah, it's really simple to do.
Nice.
But you do have to turn down that pot. He has the volume knob on there, and a few people have said that is loud. Once you're connected to that new amp, you want to turn that down to about halfway, or the first time you switch to Viper, Glenn's logo comes up and he yells "Game On," and it blows your eardrums out of your head whenever that happens. So,
do the buttons on the deck still work for volume also?
They will only work for volume on your iArcade games when you switch back to iArcade.
Okay.
So once you set that a happy medium, you're going to go into arcade settings itself, and they have volume settings just like you would on a console or something inside. You can turn down the sound effects or turn down everything's right there.
Right. And then the other question I had for you regarding that, I know you had to put that HDMI splitter on. Does that capture both sides also, or is it?
I don't believe. Right. I didn't even think about that before I ordered the thing because we've been talking about this Viper for a year, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on board. So after I knew it was already shipped out, I asked Glenn, I'm like, wait a minute, you got to use that HDMI out from the iArcade to the KVM switcher. How am I going to put this on my laptop to record like I do? And he said, get a HDMI switcher. And I didn't think any further past that. But now that I'm looking at it, I can still record iArcade games. I don't think that I can for the Viper side of it, aside from having the camera right on the screen, old school style,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So, because the video output going to your monitor, that's the ribbon cable, right? It's not like it has an HDMI out.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So
yeah, that's definitely a downside to it. But I mean, if you're just using the Viper to throw all kinds of other games on there and have a nice collection, then it's good for what it is.
And contrary to popular belief, and it is tough. And Ed, I'm sure you have it too, where with the pinball stuff, sometimes you almost have to remind yourself, I don't have to record every time I play. I'm allowed to just play and enjoy playing. And so that might give you some incentive. I'll be like, I'm going to go on the Viper side. Then I have built-in excuse why I didn't make a video that I just wanted to play and have fun.
And along those lines, I'll also say that you don't have to record a video if you don't want to. You're under no obligation to do one twice a week, once a week, twice a month, whatever. I fall into that trap, and my wife is telling me all the time, there's no rule saying you have to make one this week if you don't want. I'm busy, and I'm like, I haven't done a video yet. She says, you don't have to. And You're right.
Yeah. It sometimes you feel weird though, and you almost feel guilty. Like,
I know.
Damn it!
Weird,
I had a great game, and I didn't record it. Or whatever.
And sometimes you get happy when you don't record because your sister comes over and kicks the living crap out of you on shooting the rapids and gets the high score on your machine. And,
right? Yeah, there are times where it's like, dang it! Yeah, I'm glad we weren't recording.
Exactly.
I think a lot of the times there have been a handful of times where I've made 4 or 5 videos in 1 week just because I wanted to do this one. And I think I actually just ended up burying each video as I went along. People say, oh, he has a new video, but they missed the other 2 or,
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I did all these iArcade ones kind of close. I put one out yesterday and one today, but really that's just going to be a very small group. If anybody watches that, hopefully they're doing a search. How do I put in the Viper? And they'll find my video. How do I put in a new monitor? And it'll be there. But I don't expect a whole lot of people to be watching them anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I found it interesting, Poke, because you were talking about while you're doing the video and you're wanting to get in there. So he's doing the video with his phone while he's trying to do installs with one hand. And he said it's easier to do the install if you can use both hands. And I was thinking it must be odd because usually when Poe's only using one hand, he's watching on his phone, not recording from his but I think Ed figured
That's
out.
only on Saturday nights when the mood is right and the baby lotion is here.
Hey, whoa.
I think I was about halfway through when Ed saw where that was going. He started laughing.
That was great.
Hey, I want to talk real quick because we did mention the driving stuff and recording videos, and the only thing I had planned to talk about today, as I'm leaning on my steering wheel that you guys can't see, the big news with American Truck Simulator this past week. American Truck Simulator released the 1.51 update, added some stuff. They got some more dynamic loading that I was going to have a video clip for, but I had to work this weekend, which is a pretty cool thing. It's with you have to own your own grain trailer, but you basically pull into a granary and the thing is over there and it fills your trailer and you can see the grain and all that stuff. So that's a cool option. And then tomorrow, on a Monday, go figure, Arkansas comes out for American Truck Simulator. I'm pretty excited about Arkansas. I lived in Arkansas for 12 years. And it's funny, one of the guys that does videos for whenever there's updates, he usually does like 2 or 3 minute videos, and they'll say, "Hey, this is a new update they did. Oh, they got a new truck, they got new tires, they got whatever." Well, he had like a 30-minute video, and I'm like, "Oh, what's this all about?" And he said he's doing it. He got an early access because he does enough videos, and he's going across the whole top of Arkansas from basically where Fayetteville is across to Jonesboro, which is on the 412 highway, which is the town I lived in, the 412 went right through it. So I watched the very beginning because he also got that new Moza truck wheel. And I'm like, I wanted to see that. That's an awesome steering wheel, but I'm not going to watch it because he's going to do the drive I'm most excited to do on my own. So I didn't watch his video because I didn't want to give myself spoilers. And I even talked about it in my last video that I did getting ready to do it. I said, which is kind of funny because I want people to watch my videos of Arkansas, which could give them spoilers, but I don't want to watch someone else's video that gives me spoilers. But so I'm excited about Arkansas. It's coming out, and Greg's excited because the next state after that is Missouri, where he lives. So, but that's a big stepping stone that's coming up. And
nice.
Oh, I think T-Dog was heading out. Sorry about that, T-Dog.
Congratulations, good win.
Good job on the thing. So that's my big news for the week. And I know we're probably going to wrap up a little early for us, which we're already been on an hour and a half. Poe's got work tomorrow, right, Poe? So you got to get up.
Back to work. Yeah, back up at 3:40 in the morning.
So he's getting up in the wee hours of the morning. I was up at the wee hours of the morning this day. Greg's not feeling well, so he had to pull out early. So,
before we do head out at all, I just got to let Mr. Postile, you understand that the idea of a green screen is to show different.
Have something behind it.
Right? I don't see anything up there.
Yeah, you gotta get. He's working into it. He's only been doing YouTube for 3 years.
Yeah, it takes a bit.
It takes a minute. Yeah, he puts his gameplay in there for his challenge videos and stuff.
Yeah, that's
and if you want to, you can get spoilers sometimes because if he talks long enough. No, wait, not if. When he talks long enough,
right.
You'll see his score sometime flash up there, and then
you'll already know the game. I act like it's a mystery, but it's in my thumbnail. It's in my title. This week we're going to play. What are we playing? It's playing behind me. It's in the thumbnail. It's in the title.
Right. You know, there's a girl that we watch. She'll do reaction videos, and she'll say, "And to this week's movie or this video's movie I'm watching. In case you haven't read the thumbnail or looked at the thumbnail or read the description, I'm like, well, how do they know where to click? Are they just opening YouTube? They saw the thumbnail or read the description. It's kind of hard to.
I heard a great tip from a YouTuber, a bigger YouTuber, and he was just on a video talking to somebody, and he said, if you really want the interaction on your videos, say stuff that's wrong about the game or whatever you're doing on purpose. People are going to come in there and correct you right now. People you never seen before. I'm like, that's not a bad idea.
Somebody mentioned that on a mentioned in the forums of a tech forum. If you ever need help with something, ask your question on the tech forum. Log in with a different account and say a completely wrong answer. Oh, you just connect the red wire to the blue. You're fine. And everybody will chime in and say, no, here's how you do it. Because people love to correct other people.
Oh, yeah. That is brilliant.
Yeah, you nailed it, man. That's it exactly, Mr. Postile.
Yeah. Hey, Polo, good to see you, buddy.
Hello.
Yeah.
Polo, I know you were really into your iArcade for the longest time, and you were in the Discord. You said there was something wrong with the monitor, man. If I were you, I would get a replacement monitor and get the Viper. I know you love that thing, so you were asking about it, and you said maybe just letting it die with the monitor. But man, I'd keep that thing running if I were you.
Oh yeah, that is the best machine. I've built several main machines in the past, and that's the best multicade I've ever owned as far as build quality. Of course, that could be my own building skills because I built all the other ones I've had. But it's a good quality machine, and if you get Glenn's deck and that mystery coder chip makes it a whole different ball game. It's just brilliant. So and then with the Viper now, it's pretty cool. Some of the stuff you can do. But do we want to roll into some final thoughts here?
Yeah, I should probably go because I gotta take off to go pick up my son here soon. He gets off at 6.
Okay.
So,
well, I do want to say, since you're going to go, Mike, this was kind of for you in that Retro Realms game that's coming out next month that I posted about to you guys, the Halloween one.
Oh, yeah.
And then Ash, the Evil Dead. I was watching another video on that today, and those apparently those aren't going to be the only games. There are going to be more coming up. When they first turned on the game, the developers, it shows an arcade cabinet with Halloween and Michael Myers, and then across from it in this arcade room, it shows Ash and the Evil Dead on the other one. And then there's other arcade cabinets that are covered with a canvas.
Oh.
So it's going to be other horror games, other franchises. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but, there's a good chance you're going to get a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game in there and Chucky game. They talk about that being a possibility. So that game is the physical pre-order is out now, and I think they were only doing 5,000. I can't remember if it was 5,000 total physical games for it or if it was per platform, which is PS4, PS5, Xbox, and the Switch.
Oh yeah.
But just over a month from now they'll be shipping those out, and then it's just going to be digital download if you don't get the physical pre-order on this.
Yeah, that's with Karate Kid too. They're doing the beat 'em up. And that kind of art style, so they're releasing that as well.
Oh,
and it's
nice.
supposed to be from the, I think the 3 movies. So not from Cobra Kai, but back when he was young. You could be Miyagi. Probably that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then was it Chosen from?
Yeah,
it looks fun. I'm like, oh wow, I got to play that stuff. So But
I never did
anyways,
try the Cobra Kai game. They had that out too, I think, for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Switch. And
yeah, they have it for Xbox and PlayStation too. Yeah, it's a beat 'em up. Oh, what was I gonna say? I already pre-ordered Silent Hill the remake 2, so that's coming out next month, and yeah, I'm looking forward to play. I did watch gameplay. They had it on YouTube. I think GameSpot played for it for a little bit, and it's a lot different. It's I was just watching that person play, and it got me kind of freaked out. Like, oh, before, if you played it, you kind of know all where the surprises happen at, right? And this one's just completely. It seems like it's more different compared to the original and stuff. And I like the direction they're going with it. And I'll probably give my thoughts when I get the game and beat it. Then I might put a video. It depends though, because what I've been kind of noticing when I do a PS5 video, it takes up a big chunk of my SSD space, and I got 1 terabyte that I dumped the footage in there. So if I'm recording a lot of gameplay, it's almost filled up. That happened to me when I did Fallout Far Harbor. I'm like, shoot, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a lot of the newer games until I buy a bigger hard drive. So I'm going to have to get a bigger, like a 2 terabyte SSD before I even shoot a video on that. So, and then I'm still working on Silent Hill 2. I got the intro done, and then I'm going to start filming inside here. Of course, I'm going to be using a green screen like Poe has behind there, utilizing that. So I'm going to do a skit. I already planned everything out on it, so it's going to be good. So it's going to be different too. I'm not going to be emphasizing a lot of the humor. It'll just have the skit, and then it'll be just a normal documentary video. I think I'm going to be doing that from now on. So when people see the videos, they'll just have that same kind of pattern to it and stuff. And yeah, I look forward to releasing it here soon. Well, not soon, but later when I'm done. And that's all I got, and I got to take off. But I'll catch you guys later. I got to go.
Mike. All right, Mike.
See ya.
Later.
Mark Poe.
All right. Yeah. So, Ed, did you have anything final thought wise you wanted to talk about or promote or whatever you want to say?
Anything I could interrupt?
Yeah, prepare yourself. Here we go. No, I just wanted to, thank you for allowing me on with you guys again. And the new Zen tables are awesome. They've had a lot of new packs coming out. Jurassic Park, the Kong video, or the Kong tables, the Universal pack, and there's going to be more coming. So, sadly, it's just for the 4K version. The HD version is not getting any love on those, but it may be time to upgrade if you haven't yet. It's pretty awesome stuff. And finally, Bart, I love the albums on the back wall there, especially the Story of Star Wars. That's one of my favorite all-time memories as a kid.
Oh, man.
MP3 versions of it, that a version that I listened to. And what's the third one? I can't tell what the third one is.
Yeah, I got the Star Wars, and then Grease, and then the Rescuers.
Rescuers. I'll be damned.
He animated the mice, Bob Newhart. And,
Bob Newhart, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. One of the, was it Ava Gabor? One of the Gabor sisters.
Yeah, one of the Gabor.
Bianca. And yeah, and apparently if you get the DVD version or the Blu-ray version, there's a scene where they're flying by and there's a naked lady in one of the windows for one frame. One frame nudie shot.
Was it Ava Gabor?
Yeah, no, someone just took a clip from a Playboy or something and put it in one of the windows. But I loved that movie when it came out. When I was a kid, it came out a long time ago, and I loved that movie. And I got
Great
the album.
Star Wars and Grease are my favorites as a kid as well. Fantastic.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah. So those are pretty. And normally there's a shelf up here with my train. I have an old 027 gauge train that was my dad's. And when I came out here to turn on the air conditioner after work and stuff, I looked on the floor and I looked. Apparently, I don't know if a dust devil or a blast of wind hit the trailer, but the whole shelf fell down. So I got a mess over there. We had a train accident inside my trailer here.
Well, that sucks.
But yeah. Hey, has there been any talk at all about Pinball M stuff coming to
Just rumors and comments in the different places I frequent and talk to folks. Everybody thinks it's coming.
Yeah.
Nothing confirmed yet.
What's your favorite Pinball M table? Or have you been playing them or?
No, I really haven't, to be honest with you. I did a video on it, if you remember, from the start, and it's fun stuff. Right. But I don't really have a favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
You?
I'm still partial to the Chucky table.
Chucky, I was gonna say,
but that Texas Chainsaw is really cool too. That the newest one they put out, that's a pretty cool table. So it's hard, they release a new table, then you play the crap out of it for the next couple weeks, so that it's kind of gets ingrained in your head. But every time I go back to Chucky, I remember why I like Chucky, and then
and as much as I like the Legends 4K versions of the Zen tables, the few that I have, I want to play them on Pinball FX because of the whole user interface and getting the cool prizes and collectibles and stuff. Honestly, I really dig that. I think Pinball FX does a great job of that.
Yeah. And you still have all those on the go options, right? You're doing it the same as you did with your HD table, right? You just
exactly. Yep.
Line it in.
I also have the advantage of adjusting my view as well, which Legends 4K you can't do that.
Right. Yeah. Now, but as opposed to your original At Games table, you didn't have to get that Vibs board, right? For the
thank goodness.
None of the 4K. It's ready to go, right? For all that stuff.
Fantastic.
So
really well implemented.
Too. So, Bo, did you have any final thoughts? All right, so we'll just move on. He's trying to get his green screen to work.
I was thinking the same thing, Bart.
I wish I could. I don't know how you do that with your phone, aside from the program I use to make my videos. Then I can go in.
Well, you can do it right inside StreamYard. Let me see.
My StreamYard's like this big on a cell phone, about a foot and a half in front of me. So.
Yeah.
Or is that your JLO?
I don't have a green screen though, so it gets all confused when I try to do it. But yeah, you can do it right inside StreamYard. Just go down to the
background of my pinball room. Then what am I thinking? I got to start using that. Jeez.
Yeah, I can. Oh, here, there's a nice desert landscape
for you. Yeah,
I took that picture there from my house here. That is
really.
Yeah, that little mountain there. I still don't know which way to point, even when it's myself. That's right outside of Van Horn, right there. That mountain.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's a picture I took from here. But
oh wow, this is easy. Now, why didn't you tell me this hours ago? Damn you!
Right. I tried to do the blur. I thought it would blur my face and we'd get more viewers, but it didn't. So.
I wanted you to do that too, but whatever.
Polo likes the Chucky table also. And sorry for anybody that I wasn't here last week, so now I'm out of practice for putting up the chat. So if I missed some chat, there you go. There you go. Nice.
Awesome. I love it.
That's your game room there?
That's my little game room. It's a small room, but I love it. Got the Legends.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, pinball. Yeah. Some comic book omnibuses there to the side here, and board games.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Room of
that's really awesome. Joy. Right. What did you do with your HD table?
It's sitting right over in the living room there. Which my wife is thrilled about. No, I want to sell it on Facebook Marketplace. I just haven't done that yet. I just haven't got around to it yet, but I need to do that actually because it's just gathering dust.
Yeah, I tell people. I told the story before when I first got arcade. My first main machines that I built. I had them in the dining room at our house in Arizona before I added on a game room. But we played the hell out of it because it was right there.
Oh, and great. Yeah.
Anyone that's familiar with Robotron 2084, unless you're phenomenal at it, you can have a pretty good game for your own skill level in just a couple minutes. Commercial break, I'd jump up and play Robotron. And it's like, go back down. And it's like, we played this. And then I built a nice arcade. I had a movie theater downstairs. It was a split level. Upstairs was a game room. I had the 3 main machines, 2 pinball machines, foosball table, 2 slot machines. Had all kinds of full band stuff. Drum set, bass, guitar.
Wow.
Keyboards, everything you could want up there. And downstairs was the movie theater, and
That's awesome.
but we didn't play it as often because it was upstairs and it wasn't right there. But eventually I had to build the room because there was no room for the kitchen table anymore. The couple main machines I could put up against the wall, but by the time I put a pinball machine in there, I got my Joker's table and I put that in there, and now the dining room table didn't fit. And apparently my ex-wife thought that it was important to have a dining room table in the dining room. So, but
I tried to have Jokers myself, but whatever.
Right. Yeah, but I had all that stuff in that room upstairs. My kids, they had a 55-inch TV back when that was a huge TV in their room with they had the Xbox, the original Xbox. They had a GameCube in there. We were one of the first place before there was Wi-Fi. I ran coax cable, and we had 4 computers networked in our house. We could play network gaming before anyone had any of that stuff. And still in the summer, I'd go in, the kids are sitting on the couch. I'm like, what's wrong? There's nothing to do. I'm like, if there was a time when child abuse should be legal, it's this moment. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
That's fancy. I thought I was fancy. When I worked for that company putting in business telephones and nurse call units, I had a system we pulled out for an upgraded phone system for the school. And my dispatcher told me, keep it in your van. We have inventory coming up at the warehouse. We don't want anything extra here. I had it in the van forever. Then he's like, put it in your house. Put it in your house. They're going to do inventory on the. And so finally, he's like, just keep the thing. So in my old house, I wired in this phone system in the basement. It had music on hold. It had like the intercom to every room. So I had a phone in every room.
Nice.
And my father-in-law didn't realize this. They came over to visit on Christmas Day, and the powder room and the downstairs main floor, I had the phone behind where you would stand to go to the bathroom. So we're all in the living room. He's like, I got to go take a leak or whatever. Yeah, he goes in there. So I'm like, okay, time to page him. I hit the button. I'm like, what are you doing? He said, well, I just pissed all over your floor thanks to that. It's like, whoops, that kind of backfired on me there.
It's funny. When I had that, the house was networked in our town before anyone had high-speed internet. And a T1 line was about the best thing you could ever hope for, but no one could afford to have a private T1 line. There was a company in our town. They started with high-speed internet, and it was actually a microwave transmitter up to the mountain and back down. And in the beginning, you would have to use dial-up for upload, and you got your downloads through there. And I was the first house in our city that got high-speed internet because I would talk to that guy who owned the company. And when they first got me hooked up, he actually sent one of his technicians out because I was just shooting the shit with him one day, and I told him about the 4 computers, and he goes, wait, so you have 4 computers in your house and they can all access the internet through our service? And I'm like, yeah, my kids can, from their bedroom, access the internet. I had computer sharing through mine, which was the host computer, and they were all, and he's like, how do you do that? This is the guy that owns the ISP. And he sent his tech over, and I showed him how to do it. I'm like, this is how you can network in your house. And he's like, the owner's like, I wonder if I should charge people for multiple computers. And I'm like, not my house, you shouldn't.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
Right. And but he got us hooked up. And then probably about 2 months later, after they went full duplex on the high speed, I got a random call from him. And he goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, just hanging out. And he goes, are you home? I'm like, you just called my home phone. This is before cell phones were really popular. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I said, why? What's up? He goes, well, we've been talking about expanding. I said, yeah. He says, we're getting 2 more T1 lines for our server. So the second one got hooked up today, and the old one, or no, that's the new T1 line. You're the only one hooked up to it for the next 24 hours. Have fun. You have your own T1 line. And it was like, holy shit. Because before that, a 56K modem was screaming fast. And here I am with a dedicated, I was like opening 4 YouTube videos at once thinking, look at me go. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And then we moved away. And here's the fun part of the story. I always want to end on a downer. We moved away. I went back like 5 years later, drove out to there, see how they're doing. And that guy had died. Heart attack at like 48 years old. I'm like, man, are you kidding me? I went up his son was working there, and I saw him first. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm talking. Hey, how's your dad? Is he around? I see his car. He had an old 65 Mustang. And I'm like, I see your dad's car there. Is he here? He goes, oh, no, he passed away like 2 years ago. I drive the car now. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, dude, I'm sorry. I feel like but it was kind of cool. For a while there, I was the only house in the whole city. Well, Tri-City area, Prescott, Arizona, and Prescott Valley and Chino Valley. I was the only house, the first house that got high-speed internet back in the day.
That's awesome.
And the ISP didn't even know about networking in the home and how they would get access from the other computers to get out. And I'm like, well, come on over. I'll show you how it works.
Not everybody's a nerd like you, Bart.
Well, my uncle taught me all that stuff. He was like, I set up a second computer. He goes, you can network those? I'm like, you can? And so he showed me it. Everything I ever learned about computers, my uncle taught me. He's a genius.
That's awesome. No, I can use them, but I couldn't tell you how to network a computer.
Yeah, and that was old school. It was using coax cables, and you had to have T connectors, and you had to put a terminator at the end. Even if it was the last computer, you didn't just put an elbow. You had to put a T and then a terminator at the end, so it knew that was where the signal stopped, and then everything for the outside had to get routed through mine.
Post out. I don't even know what the hell a T or elbow is.
I just nod and smile.
Yeah. No, it was pretty, that's all the kids cared about. It's like, wait, so we can play like Doom against each other? Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and it was badass. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So anyway, that's my final thought. Bo, did you do a final thought, or did you just say everyone else's?
No, but I tried to interrupt everybody as much as I could, but no, I don't know. I'm going to do the other install the graphics for the arcade at some point, and I'll try to do our challenge videos this week too. It's going to be rough. It's been 7 months since I was back at work, and well, that's a very physical job. 10 hours a day. I mean, with my driving and getting there early, 13-hour days with this job. So, with me not doing much in the last 7 months, I think I'm going to be pretty wiped out all week here, probably the next month until I'm used to it again. So I'm going to try to get my videos out when I can, but yeah.
You're going to be catching hell from your buddies at work. They're going to be, man, this new guy sucks. Look at him, he's slow.
I'll pull the Joe Dirt. I'm new.
Right.
I've been working that for all year now on my job. They're still kind of falling for it, so I'm gonna.
Bo is a hard-working man. He does a hard job and he works his ass off. He's a good guy and he works hard. So it's awesome.
The thing I'm gonna miss the most is us getting together to play Walkabout during the week. Now that I know it's not gonna happen anymore, not for a while. So because what you see with. After he just said nice things about me, I better say nice things too. But what you see with Bart here is what you get in real life. When I go on there and play with him and Kelly, it's just such a fun time playing mini golf. And then, they get me the new putters and the lost balls and everything. So I get the hook up too while we're playing.
That's a good time. That is a good, and it's tough because Kelly and I work the weekends, and Bo will be working during the week. Sometimes he has to work the weekend too, but it is tough to get together for stuff like that when our days off or his days on and his days off. Bo works hard. I hardly work, but even when I am working, it's not hard work. It's really boring. That's the hardest part of my job is just dealing with watching the clock slowly tick away. And it's like, is it 3 o'clock yet? But
you know what? Even on some of the busy days, it's like that though, because we'll be up there and we're laying the bricks for these vessels and stuff at the steel mill, and you're like, "Wow, I'm sweating my ass off." I got a 10-hour day. It had to have been 6 hours already, and you look up at the clock and it's not even 8 a.m. Like, oh no, oh please no.
Derek says, "Oh, mini golf. That's sorry, Derek. We played that new Mars course and we forgot."
I invited him. I went on Facebook Messenger and I
what
said,
are you crying about, you little?
I said, hey, we're going to play. And he said, I don't want to play with you guys. No, he said he was actually working that day. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll call it here then. If that's everyone's final thoughts, thanks for everyone for being here. Ed, thanks for coming in. It's always fun to have you on.
Definitely.
Anyone who I think everyone who's here already knows you and knows about your channel. But anyone watching these in the replays, if you don't know Ed, check him out. Digital Victory, it says so right by his name, right there on his screen. Excellent channel, a lot of good pinball information, great knowledge. Me and Bo, we still make our shit videos, and you can watch those if you just want to turn off your brain and not learn anything.
Right.
And you'll feel better about your own game playing skills. You watch our stuff. If you want to learn something so you can improve, you watch Ed's stuff.
Only in pinball, though, unfortunately. So
yeah. But it's great stuff, though. It's great stuff.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
All right. Kelly says, good night, guys. Great show. It's always great because Ed's here. So we have to step up our game.
And Mike and I didn't even get to talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro. That was on the agenda, but maybe we'll get to that next week.
Yeah, we'll have to. There you go. Sneak preview for next week's show. We'll have to get to that. Yeah, we tried to get a little bit of an agenda for this show, and it ran longer, and
it turned into the ice cream and cookie show. Instead.
That's right.
Well,
nothing wrong with that.
That's important stuff too. So, all right, I'm going to find this. I got to play the Greg music because I'm not ready for an outro. I'm going to find us an outro, and there it is. The same one I always play. It's 12 seconds long. I can handle that. So,
nice.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you next week. Same bad time.
Good night.
Good night, chat. See you, folks.